somebody needs therapy here, but it's nobody on our side of the aisle, okay?
Because enough.
No, honestly,
back to the China
you
hearing.
had your chance.
Order,
I would like my time restored.
No, your time was
Like
expired.
you interrupted me. I want my time restored.
You had your time. You went above, and I'll let Ms. Thornton go a minute.
You know what?
Here, sit down, everybody. Come back. This is about China. We asked a simple question. Now, Ms. Presley, you're out of order. Sit down.
Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman.
No.
Mr. Chairman.
Democrats and Republicans repeatedly clashed during a Congressional Oversight Committee hearing today, but things got particularly heated between Republican Chairman James Comer and Democratic Ranking Member Jamie Raskin on the topic of the failed sham Biden impeachment inquiry, and it was glorious. But before we unpack all that, if you end up liking this video and you want to support the channel, please be sure to hit the like, subscribe, and alert bell before you go. I'd greatly appreciate it. All right, friends, at the time of recording, this particular hearing is still ongoing, so there's no telling where things will be by the end. But I really want to focus on this notable, very lengthy exchange between the two highest-ranking members on the committee, Jamie Raskin for the Democrats, James Comer for the Republicans. And for context, Raskin is debunking the failed sham Biden impeachment inquiry, and he's particularly focusing on what was supposed to be the keystone piece of evidence, an FD 1023 FBI form, which was filled out by an anonymous confidential human source who was later prosecuted by the Department of Justice for making false allegations to the FBI when he claimed that Joe and Hunter Biden received bribes from a Ukrainian holding company. And so Raskin is dunking on Republicans, as well he should, and James Comer doesn't like it very much. So we're going to play these clips and unpack them together.
Chairman Jason Smith, for example, said this was a smoking gun, and it was the definitive proof that the Bidens took bribes. It's obviously been dropped, and yet this was the genesis of our investigation. How do we understand?
That's just simply not true, but go ahead.
I'll yield to the chairman if you want to take some more time.
No.
Well, you can use your time.
Are you saying the bank statements are Russian disinformation, that the Bidens took $9,000 from
China? I agree you've been talking about bank statements for more than a year, but they don't show anything other than there was no crime.
Okay, so that's the context for this, right? This is the genesis. It's still relatively civil, but you can see that Comer is not happy. It gets worse.
So it's okay. It's okay for, as Tony Bobulinski said, for China to bribe Joe Biden's family with $9 million.
But that's the lie that's been discredited. I mean, where is your impeachment investigation? If Joe Biden took a $9 million bribe from China, why aren't you impeaching him for that?
Well, who says we're not?
Well, I can invite Mr. Moskowitz to come back in. Do you want to move for impeachment today? Because I thought that was your main agenda item. You said it was the paramount priority of the committee.
No,
So what he's referring to is Jared Moskowitz, a Democrat, freshman Democrat that hopefully I'll be interviewing soon. Let's hope. You know, he recently pulled the ultimate gotcha on House Republicans who keep peddling this failed sham Biden impeachment inquiry. Well, he called their bluff during a recent congressional hearing, said, okay, many of you have said that you want to impeach the president. James Comer, again, the Republican chairman, says that he would vote to impeach now. Well, Moskowitz recently called their bluff, and this is what happened. And then after we play this clip, we'll get back to Comer versus Raskin.
Well, I mean, I'm just here to help him, right? And so I just think we should do it today. Let's just call for it. I'll make the motion, Mr. Chairman. I want to help you out. You can second it, right? Like, make the motion to impeach President Biden. Go ahead. It's your turn. You second it. No, nothing. Okay, we got nothing. So I want it.
So, and again, he used it to say, listen, if Republicans really meant what they said, if they really had the goods, listen, I'll do it. I will tee up an opportunity to impeach the president. You can see Comer just fall apart. And even Jim Jordan, I don't know if you can see there, but in the white shirt and the yellow tie, even he's laughing, right? Because this is funny. It is hilarious for, Comer to be embarrassed in this way. I mean, Moskowitz pulled a remarkable move there. So what Raskin is saying is like, okay, listen, if you're still up for impeachment, I'll bring Moskowitz back in and we'll just do what we've done before. And there again, Comer crumbled because he's not ready to actually impeach the president, as we've discussed in previous videos. I'll continue.
No, this is a hearing on China, and you all have an obsession with Russia and Trump. It's disturbing.
We can talk about China and Trump or Russia and Trump.
You need therapy, Mr. Raskin.
No, you need therapy. You're the one who's involved with the deranged politician, not me, okay? I've divorced myself from Donald Trump a long time ago. You're the one who needs to disentangle.
And again, from here, it just gets so much worse. This one lasts about a minute, and as you can see immediately, they're not going to be hanging out anytime soon.
I don't know
What
who you're
business
talking
were they
about.
in?
Well, what business is the Comers in? You're talking about lots of people. There's lots of people in the
I'm
family.
a farmer.
Your
I have
impeachment-
land. I
Your
lease land.
impeachment
I sell honey.
investigation must identify
What did
a
the
high crime
Bidens
and
do?
misdemeanor.
What did they do?
I'll
for
tell
the
you what Joe
millions of
Biden
dollars?
did. He was a senator of the United States. Then he wrote a book, and he said he made the most money he ever made in his life, millions of dollars on his book, and he gave $1 million
That's
away
what
to
his
charity.
family did.
That's
why Ukraine, Kazakhstan, Romania, China, Russia. That's why they paid the Biden family money, because of Joe Biden.
None of those governments paid anyone any money.
By the way, the person speaking right now, that's Congressman Dan Goldman, who will later show up, and we might even do a video about this, just debunks that talking point in brutal fashion.
Somebody needs therapy here, but it's nobody on our side of the aisle, okay?
All right, enough.
No,
Back to the
honestly,
China hearing. Back to the China
you
hearing.
had your chance.
Order,
I would
order.
like my time restored.
No, your time was
I would like-
expired. I've
no,
given
you
3 extra
interrupted
minutes.
me. I
Hold
want
it.
my
No,
time
you had
restored.
your time. You went above, and I let Miss Thornton go a minute.
You know what?
Here, sit down, everybody. Come back. This is about China. We asked a simple question. Now,
Oh, man. I mean, again, just absolute clown show on Comer's part. I mean, it's so funny. But again, just other things, too, to point out.
we'll let the record show that Mr. Raskins could not answer the question. What
First of
did
all,
the Bidens do to receive the money?
Let me start with this. My last name is Raskin, okay? We've sat next to each other for more than a year. You don't have to add the S.
Listen, in Comer's defense, he's not particularly literate, right? He would probably struggle with that in the first place. But again, Comer, despite, telling people in fundraisers that he can't impeach President Biden, and so he's going to make a criminal referral to the Department of Justice, which, by the way, he hasn't made yet, then he backtracks and says that impeachment is on the table.
Number 2, I would like my time restored. And number 3,
No, you
have
your
not
time. You're
identified
out of
a single
order.
crime.
No.
Well, what is the crime that you want to impeach Joe Biden for and keep this nonsense going?
Well,
Why?
when-
What is the crime? Tell America right now. You
Well,
can have the rest of
you're
my
about
time.
to find out.
What
very
is the
soon.
crime?
You're about to find out
Name
very
it.
soon. Chair.
And he still can't name it. Like he's dangling it like it's some sort of like twist, like it's the last 5 minutes of a Game of Thrones episode. If he really had the goods, he would probably want to tell the American people, given that the polling on this issue has been disastrous for Republicans. As we've discussed, there's considerably less support for impeaching President Biden than there ever was for any of the impeachment efforts against then President Donald Trump. Republicans have been losing on this issue. So if you really had evidence of an impeachable offense, why can't you even just name the crime or name the offense? Treason? Bribery? What is it? Well, he's like, you're about to find out very soon. That's because you actually don't have anything to tell us.
Office building.
Mr. Chairman.
What business? Did they have an energy
Mr.
company?
Chairman, we have spent tens of millions of dollars pursuing
Joe
Joe Biden,
not
and you have not
true.
identified
That
a
is
single
lie.
crime.
You are
Really?
lying. That is
Really?
a lie. We have not spent $10 million.
Hey, how much have you spent?
We haven't spent hardly anything.
Oh, it's been for free. Okay. All right. Well, in any event, wait, you know what? Then we get what we paid for because you got nothing.
That
you
is-
got nothing
no,
on Joe.
So listen, these congressional hearings do take up a considerable amount of money. Comer is lying there. Jasmine Crockett, a Democratic freshman congresswoman who we talked about quite a bit on this channel, and who, again, at the time of recording, will have her chance to ask questions of the witnesses and hopefully will dunk on Republicans. She took to Twitter saying, "I'm in tears as I'm sitting in oversight. Comer is losing his shit." And then she added the Midas Touch clip guru, ACN, who, by the way, we use all the time. He's really good. Please tell me you have the footage. Whew, this went on for close to 10 minutes. Thank you. I didn't know that you were on vacation. And it did. I mean, what a lengthy exchange. Then I think it was the Lincoln Project. Yeah, the Lincoln Project actually put this to appropriate music.
You know what?
Here, sit down, everybody. Come back. This is about China. We asked a simple question. No, Ms. Presley, you're out of order. Sit down.
Mr. Chairman,
You're out of order.
Mr. Chairman.
No.
The squeaks are glorious. But yeah, folks, this is what it's become. And again, as I mentioned in my conversation with Dan Goldman recently, I think that this is good. I think it's good that Jamie Raskin is fighting for every inch of ground here, that he's not giving a single inch of ground to James Comer that he's not taking anything for granted. He's not assuming the premise. He's not letting Comer try to spin this. He's fighting him every step of the way and demonstrating his better debate talents, his vastly superior rhetorical skills, all the things. He is humiliating the Republicans every chance he gets, which, quite frankly, so do Goldman, Moskowitz, AOC, Crockett as well. I mean, all of them have raised their game truly and brought like a unified rhetorical aggression, which I think is incredible. And I think it's much needed. I think it's long overdue, especially because at the moment, Democrats are in the minority. As Congressman Goldman pointed out recently, I mean, they're not in the majority. They don't have the ability to end the investigation or to start a new investigation or to propose legislation. That's all in the hands of this chaotic, dysfunctional, stupid House Republican conference. And so given the relative powerlessness of House Democrats, they are using their power, time, effort, and energy to the best of their ability, which is highlighting how stupid the GOP actually is. Great stuff. We'll probably do other videos about this as well, because from what I've seen, it was pretty heated. It was pretty good in other moments as well. But let me know what you think in the comments.